True story. It's not a myth. The name of the game is to play or be played on. Andre last night, Gorgeous Dre. You get him yet?
No, I'm not.
You know him?
No, I don't.
You don't know Gorgeous Dre?
I don't.
He was in Pimps Up, Holds Down, the one that went to jail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I was with him last night. We was talking about how, how we had to sleep in the cars and eat bananas for dinner and shit. People don't know, the real breaks. If you think it's easy, then you ain't really been through nothing. You ain't really pimping, unless you really have bad breaks, we call it, Yeah.
Ups and downs.
Yeah.
How'd you get started, Ron?
Well, I got started when I was, I think I was 15, 16 years old. I always liked to dress. And I remember I was in high school and I had a 69 Sedan DeVille and I always wore suits. And I met this young lady in school. She had a 68 Coupe DeVille, Cadillac. And I got to reading Donald Goin books, Iceberg Slims, and I went to jail. And those books inspired me, to do this. And I don't want to say a pimp is turned out to be a pimp. I think it always have to be in them. I think it was something that was born in me and not nothing I had to practice or really get from the book. What the book did is confirm. It was my confirmation that that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. You recognized you had those qualities.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have something in your makeup, in your character that allows you to do this and succeed at it.
Right, and I promise you, it's not easy. It's not easy. See, and as far as the difference between the pimp and the dope dealer, the dope sell itself. Pimping, you have to have knowledge, you have to have inspiration and guidance to attract the woman who wants to do it. And I think most times, the women already have it in them, but a certain pimp can bring it out of them and enhance something that they wanted to do all along.
Did you see it before you were 15? See guys doing it?
I had an idea. I had a clue. I wasn't clueless. I had a clue. And then when I saw the life, and eventually I got exposure, that's what I really wanted to do. It was like pimp or die. I believed in God, but the God I believed in then was the pimp God.
Tell me about your mom and dad.
Well, my father, I never really had a father because I'm from upstate New York. My father lived in Jersey, and he never came to any of my events, never supported me when I played football or when I was in the soapbox derby. He never came around. And then when I got into the game, I was going up to Newark, New Jersey. He was over in Trenton, and he came over to see me because I was on top of my game. And like so many words, he was proud of me that his son was a big-time pimp. And I guess that inspired him to want to build a relationship with me. But my mom detested pimping. She was totally against it. She wanted me to go to school and get a job and have a 401k and a pension. And I actually thought that I was going to die in the game. Like I said, only God I believed in was the pimp God at that time. So my mom was totally against it. She wanted me to work and get a 401k. And I told her, work wasn't meant for everybody. As far as working, I thought that a person that worked actually had a job. I thought something was mentally wrong with them. I thought something was mentally wrong. You working, because I didn't have the proper education. I got a GED, and I got that from prison in 1986. I think I got that GED. So, I disqualified myself to get a job.
What were you in prison for?
It was grand larceny or fraudulent deception. Like a con game.
So you're always kind of, your life was in the streets from an early age?
Yeah.
And pimping just became a more respectable, or just the avenue that you chose?
Right. Actually, it started when I was shoe shine. I was shoe shining when I was 10 years old. So by me shining shoes, it allowed me to go around, be around the pimps and seeing the flashy clothes and the jewelry. And, you know, I was born in the hood and you know, I got certain pointers from certain guys that was already exposed to the pimping game. I remember when I was, I call it shoplifting, stealing game. I would go to a already seasoned pimp and say something like out of line so they can correct me. I would say, hey man, you know, I got this little turnout. I sent her to work 12 o'clock at night. So now I don't know if that's correct or not. So they would say, no man, I put my bras down at such and such time, 12 o'clock at night. The shift's almost over with. So I would say something that I don't know, which I would call out of pocket, so the older pimps can correct me. So I call that shoplifting, stealing game.
How many girls did you have?
Oh
starting
man,
out?
The most I had was 8 at one time. I was going to Springfield, Massachusetts, and
It's a handful.
I'm sorry.
8 girls is a handful.
Yeah, but it was. I had taught them how to get along like family. You know, like they say, one bad apple can spoil a bunch. Well, if I had one that had animosity or jealousy against another one, I would take her to the side, separate her, and tell her how it's not benefiting me or you. So I would teach them how to get along with one another. You know, whatever the problem is, we're gonna fix it right now. So yeah, it was a handful sometimes, but all it did just needed some correction.
The game has changed over the years.
No, I totally disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah, I totally disagree.
I'd love
with
to
that.
hear your thoughts on that.
To me, the game never changed.
Okay, so the players have changed.
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
Exactly. The game would never change. The
Yeah.
rules
So there are
and
gentlemen like yourself are still doing it the same way.
exactly.
But then there are these new guys that come from the gang background that are doing it
Right.
very, very different.
I call it violating. They violating the game.
Yeah.
They're violating it.
They're using things like intimidation, drugs, things like that.
Yeah, well, that brings on larceny because the same way you get a chick abroad, the same way you get her, the same way you got to keep her. You know, and then somebody else can come around with the same mentality that you have and a little sharper, a little meaner, then they can knock you for your broad. You understand? So I never try to get a broad on a sex tip. Never try to keep them on a sex tip because you got somebody that can out-screw you, screw longer than you. You know, the pimping is a mind game, you know, a mind game. Broad can go have a sex 6, 7 times a night, you understand? So you think what you doing, making her climax, you think you doing something, that ain't nothing. You know, you gotta get that mind. You gotta get that mind. You get the mind, everything else will follow. Everything else will follow. So I was going to Springfield, Massachusetts. I'll never forget, I had one chick and I made a mistake and helped injured her leg. So we got to Springfield, Massachusetts. She was on crutches, but she still went to work. And in about 30 days, she got well. And before you know it, I was 8 deep. So I moved out of the motel. I got an apartment downtown Springfield, Massachusetts, and I bought a house in West Springfield, Massachusetts. And I was able to go to the Cadillac dealer, and I ordered a triple white Fleetwood. And that's just because I had the one chick on crutches and my desire and motivation to do better. See, I always thought one broad was too close to none. You know, the more the merrier. One was too close to none. And I didn't believe in putting my hands on them, chastising them, because, why you gonna beat your broad up? Why you gonna beat her up and then she gonna be injured, she gonna be wounded, and you gonna send her to work like that? You hurting your product. So you gotta whip that mind. A woman can stand pain, okay? It ain't no such thing as a certain amount of pain. Man, you can beat a woman. It's the same thing, like how you think a woman can stand out in the cold, 30 below zero with a short skirt on and flip-flops, you understand? So they can endure a lot of pain. Whooping them ain't nothing to them. You know, you gotta get that mind. You get the mind. I remember one girl, I threatened her to fire her. And what I mean by that, I told her, like, you ain't doing right, you're not producing right. I'd say, you got to go. Instead of beating her and try to make her get more money, I said, you got to go. So I grabbed all the clothes, threw them in the car, and started driving towards the airport. Now, I really wasn't trying to let her go, but I made her think that she got to go. I'm finna fire you. You going to the airport, you going home, you finna get the F away from me. I don't want nothing else to do with you. And on the way to the airport, she vowed that she gonna get it right, and she gonna get in pocket, and she gonna make that money right. So as far as whooping the broad, it ain't necessary. It ain't necessary. So the game, to me, the game will never change. Players change. You got to get chose. You got to get chose with money. You know what I'm saying? You can't get chose with a promise. And me and Fillmore Slim was talking about this last night, that if I knock somebody for their broad and they got a bail money on it, right? I'm gonna give me the receipt. I'm gonna give you bail money. You know, I'm not gonna take your broad and leave town and you got bail up on her. You understand? Nowadays, these dudes, you done bailed the broad out and they done got the broad and gone and don't care nothing about your bail money and none of that. You know, so the game will never change. The rules will never change. They always stay the same.
Tell me about the type of girl, type of woman that you will kind of bring into this life.
Women's that's smart. I didn't tolerate that getting high. I didn't play that get high, drinking and stuff while you're working, because any kind of high dulls your thinking. And you gotta be fully alert. You gotta be fully alert out there, because a trick can come kill you. You can get hit by a car, somebody put something in your drink. You know, they smoke weed or whatever after they work, but I didn't play that before you get work, because I want you to be sharp and fully aware before you go to work.
I've heard it explained from other pimps that you don't want a girl that you like, you want a girl who likes you.
Exactly, and that was, oh man, because you go after a broad that you like, she can have larceny, she can really don't like you, but you done fell in love with her, let her violate the game, bring you any kind of nonsense, poison your stable because you like her, you don't want her to leave. So you're gonna tolerate something from Sally when Betty trying to be with you, but Sally violating you and your rules now, so Betty thinks she can do the same thing. You understand? So when you get a broad that you like, don't like you, it can be some larceny there from her previous relationship or with another pimp, and she could bring that larceny and animosity towards you because she don't like you, you like her. So I really believe that, you know, I want somebody to like me. You know what I'm saying? Like me and don't want to be with nobody else but me.
How many girls do you have now?
I don't try to count. I don't try to count girls. I try to count money. And I want to get to the point to where I want to be able to measure money and not count it and put it on a scale and tell you how much it is. Mm. You know, now going backing it up a little bit, when you said the game changed, you got pimps out there selling dope now.
Oh yeah.
You got pimps out there selling dope. They get mad at me because I call them out. You know, pimp, you're a dope dealer. It don't take a rocket scientist to sell no dope. All you gotta do is open your hand, dope sell itself. But anybody can't do this pimping. Anybody can't do it. You know, this here is one of the one of the hardest things to do, because you're not accepted by society. You know what I'm saying? You're the scum of the earth.
You guys get crucified
exactly.
on my channel.
Exactly. You're the scum of the earth. Other pimps is not crazy about you because you're a threat to them and they're stable. You're a threat to them. You understand? So other bras ain't crazy about you because if they crazy about you, they would be with you. You understand? So, and another thing, when I call it interviewing a lady, I need to know everything about her. I want to know if you ever put somebody in jail before. I want to know what happens if you get under pressure, what you sign state evidence, what you tell. Have you ever told anybody on anybody? Do you have an uncle? Is your father on the police force? Okay, I need to know these things. I need to know, are you on any kind of medication, depression medication? Do you take medicine? What kind of medicine do you take? Okay, have you ever killed anybody? Have you ever tried to poison anybody? You know what I'm saying? I need to know these things about it. It's like, I need to know abroad before I send them to work. I want to know everything I can about you. You know, I just never accepted any and everybody. You know, it's certain criteria and qualifications. You know, all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money.
How has technology impacted what you do?
Oh, it's I said I'd never be a hater, but I'm a hater about this here because when I first started, we didn't even have pagers. We had to use a payphone, and then we got pagers, and man, we thought we had it going on when we got pagers. You understand? And so now, man, technology today, man, they got that back page thing. They use computers. Broads got cell phones. I mean, it's like these dudes got it easy today, man. You know, when you know, back in the day when we go to check a track, man, we got to ride up and down the track, try to find our broad, hoping, praying that she's still around. You know, we got to ride the blade. We got to make sure she's okay. But now all you do, you can send a text message, babe, where you at, whoa, how much you got, or whatever. But you know, and another thing about checking abroad, how much she got, we call it Mexican pimping. Soon as she turn a date, you holding your hand out. You give me my money at the end of the night. I don't need to go Mexican pimp every time she turn a date. No. And then another thing, I wouldn't like to be caught up in the same perimeter of my girl, you know, for whatever reason. You understand? Somebody building a case and now they got pictures of you and the girl corresponding with one another in the same vicinity all the time, then, you know, that's evidence against you. So I would never try to be caught in public or on the track talking to a broad. Never.
And you're out of Rochester, New York.
Out of Rochester, upstate New York. But I left Rochester in 74. I left Rochester. I went up to Montreal, Canada. Matter of fact, I was in Montreal when the Olympics was up there, when Sugar Ray Leonard was had just started boxing. I had left Rochester because Rochester was small, and I had a lot of haters then. So, like Virgil, Chicago crew, these guys I grew up with. You understand? I grew up with these cats in the street. So anytime they have an event, you know, because I try to show up, you know, because I grew up, these cats are like my brothers. You know what I mean? We have so much in common. Then you know, I'm not hating on the new guys that's coming up, but I got more in common with, I call them predecessors, who paved the way for them young cats. You understand? And I got to be honest, them cats give us our props. They give credit where credit due. You know, just that when we come around, me, Virgil, K-Red and us, when we come around, them young cats, they like back up because, like I say, when I first came in, they were still in game. They're absorbing.
It's like a secret society.
Exactly. It's like a cult. It's like a cult, secret society. Yeah, but it's lonely at the top. It's a very lonely game. Cause I say society don't accept you. You understand? Who gonna accept me dressed like this here on a Monday?
Yeah. And then the way you make a living.
Exactly.
That just makes.
Exactly. And I got nice cars in the driveway, and they randomly leave. I'm not working nowhere. They randomly leave, and they'll see me waxing the car. I remember one time I was down in Painted Post, New York. It was up there by Corning, New York. I was staying in this condominium, and it was expensive. And I didn't know until later on, there's a lot of doctors, lawyers, police lived in those condominiums. So here it is, I got a new Cadillac and a new Lincoln, and all the cars going to work. My two cars, the only cars in the parking lot, every day, all day. My car disappeared at night, you understand? And so what happened was, so they thought I was a dope dealer. And so they started putting notes on my windshield. And so I need a kilo of cocaine, meet me at Arnett Mall, whatever. How much you gonna charge me for a key? So, you know, it got annoying. And so I called the police and say, listen, man, somebody keep putting these notes on my cars and it's getting annoying and I'm getting offended by it. So the police said, next time you get a note on your car, bring the note to the police station. The police station was like 3 blocks from my house. So I got the car, drove to the police station and gave them a note. Say, see here, this is the kind of notes I've been getting. Police said, Mr. Gardner, how did you get here? I said, I drove. I live right around the corner. They say, you drove? I said, yeah. They say, you under arrest for driving with suspended license. So they knew all along that my license was suspended. And so it was like a punk ass entrapment. Yeah, and I laugh about that today.
So typically a girl will come to you for representation, or you will search her out and get her to play?
Yeah, no, I would check her out, look at her, and
but a lot of people think that pimps are forcing the girls to do this.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If I gotta put my hands on a woman, I don't need them, man. No, you roll up on the broad. You see, they reckless eyeball. They look at you. You check them out. Certain qualification, quality that you see in them, and you feel something. You know what I mean? And then you do what I call interview. You talk to them. You find out where they at. They start talking like they cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Ain't got nothing to do with you. You understand? Pimping is one of the hardest cases to prove. It's one of the hardest cases to prove. But if you give a chick reasons and ammunition and stuff to work with, then you can get jammed up. I'd seen, me and somebody was talking about this last night. You never whoop a broad and send them to work. You never whoop a broad and send them to work. You send them to work, you send them to work with larceny in their heart, and they're not in their right mind. So what you do, if you have to check them, strongly check them, and now it's time for them to go to work, if they can't tell you what they did wrong, then they shouldn't leave your presence. Because see, before a woman leave my presence, I want you to tell me what you did wrong, was you wrong, was I wrong for checking you? If she say what she did wasn't wrong, then she'll do it again. If she say I was wrong for checking her, she got larceny in her heart. So if she mad or get a drink in her and mad at me, if the police roll up on her with the larceny in her heart, I'm subject to catch a case. So now what I do, if I'm checking abroad and she, okay, now, do you know what you did wrong? She said, yes. I said, tell me how and why you did what you did wrong. She give me a good explanation. Now, do you think I was wrong for checking you? She said, no, you was right, whatever. Cool, now you can go back to work. You can go back to work now, because I know there's no larceny there.
These women are going to do this regardless of whether they have a pimp or not.
Yeah, but see, here it is.
But because there are guys out there shopping around for girls like them.
Right, but we call them renegades. We call them renegades.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm trying to find the source of it all. The source of it all are married men who are cheating on their wives.
Oh, absolutely. See, you bring up a good point, Mark.
You're just a manager.
Yeah, and I teach my brothers how to talk on any level, any conversation.
But you're a street manager, so you look a certain way. You look different, you act different, you do things a little differently than a typical manager.
Exactly. Somebody said, I'm a coochie coach.
Yeah.
I'm a coochie coach.
Yeah, but the demand for this exists.
Oh, absolutely. Because
you didn't create it.
No.
The girl didn't create it.
No. Without
the married guy,
there wouldn't be no prostitute.
The married guy driving up and down the street.
Exactly. See, and the reason they
and you could probably blame the wife for
exactly, because they're not getting what they want at home.
Yeah,
they're not getting what they want at home. Listen, man. With the wife, you got the nags. She got to tell you what you did wrong, what you did right, why you ain't paid this bill, why you paid that bill. Now you probably can't get an erection because you arguing with the wife about this and that. With the hooker, man, she ain't finna do nothing but love on you, man, and make you happy, get that thing up and get you to release that pressure, and you good. You understand? You give her the money, you ain't got to hear her nagging, you ain't got to hear her crying and bitching at you about, she's going off into the sunset.
And for a reason that is a whole nother conversation, these women can't really handle their money very well.
Oh, see, they don't have the motivation. And I experienced, that's a good point.
That's where you come in.
Yeah, I experienced that in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm going to have my degree shortly.
Yeah, I experienced that. Gave us to be bought, not taught, sold, not told. So I was in Philadelphia, and two of my girls, I didn't even know they was missing, but eventually I found out they was missing because I had so many girls. And I rolled up on it. It was 13th and Locust in Philadelphia. And I rolled up on them, and it was like 1:30 at night, 1:30 in the morning, whatever. Now, by then, my girls probably have like a nickel, $1,000, $1,500. You understand? But I rolled up on these chicks and, they mine until I get a phone call. Ain't nobody called me and say, hey man, this chick done chose whatever. You mine until I get that phone call. So my point is they was renegading. And when I rolled up to check the bank, man, I think they had like $70 a piece. $70 a piece, but see, without a man, somebody to manage them, $70 a piece is cool for them, you understand? But with a manager and somebody who's gonna inspirate you and motivate you to get that higher amount of money and show you what 500 can do versus what 70 can do, you understand? So, I try to make my bras look better than any broad on the track. When I buy gators, I'm buying them gators. When I buy meat, they wearing meat. Because there's an attraction. I want them to attract other women. See, man, that dude treats y'all good, man. You know what I mean? And then I have them to try to bring other girls home.
Success breeds success.
Exactly.
What would you say is the number one thing that squares don't understand about this life?
The squares don't understand?
What squares don't understand about this lifestyle?
Oh, absolutely not. Well, a lot of them hate it, man, because, you got this chick. Not only you can sex her in any position, anytime you get ready, she giving you money. She giving you bread, man. She like Romaine say, eating popcorns out of his toes. You got broads fulfilling all your fantasies, man. And the squares can't get that. They got to get it. The only way they get it, they got to pay for it. You understand? They got to pay for it. And like some squares detest pimps. Like, at one time, I detested a square. I detest squares because I know you didn't like me. I know you didn't accept me in your society. You understand? I know you didn't accept me in society. So, it's a mutual agreement. You don't like me and I don't like you.
I think there's a lot of envy.
Exactly. And that's even with the pimp game too. And it's sickening, man. Jealousy to me is a disease. Jealousy is a sickness. I want anybody that's doing whatever I'm doing, I want them to succeed. You understand? Because that's motivation to me. If you're showing me that you can buy a double-R Rolls Royce, you motivating me that I can get a Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? But one thing I had a problem with is as far as envy when the dope boy try to mix up with the pimping with selling dope. You gonna sell dope. But don't blame me that you got the money out the cop. You understand? If that's what you did, that's what you did. Cool. I'm not hating on you. But don't blame it that you straight up pimping with this here. Don't blame it on that. Do what you do. Bless you. Do what you do. So it's sad, man. Like I say, any and everybody can't pimp.
You been in love before? Have you been in love before?
Have I been in love? I want to say.
That means no. The fact that it takes us so long to answer.
Well, here it is, Mark. I really, really cared for my women. Mm-hmm. I really cared. I would have died for my women. Now, I don't know if you call that love or not.
That might be more important than what most people call love.
Yeah, I would have died for them. Mm-hmm. Meaning that if I'm riding down the track and you come up and finna choke one of my girls, what I supposed to do? Just sit there? Now I come and separate y'all, jump on you for choking my girl. You got a gun. I ain't got no gun. You blow my brains out. I don't know what you subject to do, but I got to protect her. I got to stop you from killing her. I got to stop anybody in the world from doing some harm to her. So yeah, I put my life on the line just like they put their life on the line. I ain't gonna let nobody do nothing to them. I'm a man first. Before you're a pimp or anything, you're a man first. And I don't demand respect, I command respect. I'm gonna give it because I want you to give it to me. Now, if you're not giving it to me because I command it, then I would demand it. By any means necessary, I would demand it. If I gotta knock you down, you gotta knock me down, but you're gonna respect me. So yeah, as far as that love now, you have to decide that. If I put my life on the line, I would die for her, then I guess I was in love, or loved her, or loved them. You know what I mean? I had to care about them. You know, I had to care about them because I just couldn't take, any and everybody couldn't be with me, Mark. You had to meet a certain criteria, man. You understand? I'm not finna take no, you know, I'm not finna take no anybody just to be with me because you know how to get money. You know, and it's not so much about flatbacking either. You can get a trick that's going back to the conversation. You can get a trick that want to talk about politics. You can get a trick that want to talk about taxes. That's why I teach my brothers how to talk any level that this guy need to talk on. You understand? It ain't about bitch this, bitch that. No, I want you to have an intelligent conversation that you can have with this guy that he can't get at home. You understand? That's to me, that's the purpose of a prostitute. He getting what he can get from this hooker, other than what he can get at home or elsewhere. And it's real simple. Simplicity is the key, man. You pay for this here, and 20 minutes, half hour, whatever you get that and go on about your business. You ain't got to hear nothing. That's the end of that. You ain't got to worry about taking her shopping. She talking about paying the bills, phone bill, gas bill, the baby need diaper. He ain't got to hear nothing. Matter of fact, he ain't got to hear nothing else from that chick forever. He done got his rocks off and rode off into the sunset.
All right. Ron, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Very fascinating talk.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, man.